If you look at any of the different traditions in psychoanalysis, either classical Freudian, Adlerian, Cohoosian self-psychology, or Jungian theory, they all have a way of talking about the way in which grandiosity leads to pathology. You might say infantile grandiosity. All psychopathology is narcissistic psychopathology, because there's always a disordered relationship to one's grandiosity in all the forms. It just expresses itself differently. Freudians, Adlerians, and Cohoosian self-psychologists often talk as if you're going to get rid of this grandiosity by having more analysis. Well, it lessens in its capacity to make your life chaotic if you have a good therapist. You get to where you change in ways in which you act, what they would say, in a less infantile manner. A Jungian, however, would talk about this a little differently. Numinosity, that is, this magical archetypal energy, is not childish. It's just archetypal. It is in you. This archetypal self is there. It doesn't matter how much analysis you have. It will always be there. And you know, it's been an interesting thing. All these people who have puzzled about midlife crises, all these people that you thought were not infantile, that all of a sudden got into this infantile acting out. If you take a sort of a Freudian developmental view, you tend to think, well, anybody that has a midlife crisis, probably they weren't very well structured. They had not transmuted and internalized their primitive, childish, infantile grandiosity enough. And they just looked like they were together. But if you have a Jungian point of view, and you understand that that dragon lurks, that grandiosity is in you, and it never will not be in you. And that means that at any time, you are subject to being seduced into an inflation. So what changes for a Jungian, I mean, say we got Lake Michigan grandiosity. You don't drain off the lake. Well, in the analysis, we don't evaporate that. Freudians kind of think you lessen it down to a large puddle. But a Jungian doesn't think that at all. You still got the lake. What you do is you learn to relate to it better. You learn to take swimming lessons, right? You learn sailing. Jung sailed a lot. I think Vander Post said that he wondered how much Jung's understanding of sailing influenced his understanding of the psyche. Because when you're a sailor, you don't ever get the fantasy that the ocean will not be the ocean. I mean, if any of you sail, and if you've ever done any sailing on the open sea, you never ever learn to think that the ocean is a pond, or that it's going to always be friendly. It is what it is. It's just the ocean. And sometimes it has typhoons, and sometimes it doesn't. And you just learn how to relate to it. You know when to go in and dock, get your boat up, and when to come out and go sailing. I think that Vander Post is right about that. That is really accurate to Jung's view of the way you relate to the unconscious, with great respect, bordering on fear.